Okay, very well. So, welcome everyone. Hello, Paula. So, let me see. Okay. Okay. So, Paula, was that this comment? There is a comment that you wrote. I wanted to talk about furthering my investigation of so-called other. So, if you can somehow rephrase the question, or if you want me to address just what you wrote, let me know.
Hi, Maggie. Can you hear me?
Hello. Yes, I
How
can.
are you?
Very well. Lovely to see you. Lovely to hear you.
I had written you a letter, and it was quite, in depth in what was appearing here and what I was experiencing, and apparently I lost it, and the word revelation came up, which I had open in another window.
And that's beautiful.
But what I wanted to talk about with you was there has been a noticing that there is no real Paula here. There's no entity here. Through this, somehow there's a lot of there's just been observing going on for a long time. Recently, it just came up that there was just a seeing that there's just nobody here. There's just a bunch of thoughts that arise and stories and stuff, and then they go away. And through this seeing recently, I noticed the mind has become very quiet, and life has just been very blissful, peaceful. But I noticed that still there's a little bit of a pull with the stories coming up regarding others. And I had to sit, the other day I sat and I really observed that, others. How could there be an other if there's no one here? There can't be anyone anywhere.
Yes.
So I see that there's still some lack of clarity there, and I'd like to ask you how I go about investigating that.
Okay. So it's very beautiful that there is a clarity that there is no separate self, meaning that there is no reality to a personal, separate individual or a person. And you express that there is bliss.
Yes.
And that's also, of course, very, very lovely. So the revelation of the self comes to the clarity that there is no actual person, that the me, this me impression that seems so real is in fact just not, there is nothing there. That is not what I truly am. But also the revelation is about the knowingness of what I am. So there is the clarity that there is no actual body with a certain boundary around this body mind, that there is no actual clôture, no actual container to that. On that side of the container is a me, and on the other side is the world or others. So that clarity, that insight is a very important insight, and it usually comes along with a flash of the vastness and the magnificence of consciousness. The revelation of consciousness, of the magnificence of consciousness and the infinity and the eternity of consciousness varies from insight to insight. There are no rules about it. Mm-hmm. But over let's say the journey of your contemplation, that revelation of the self, of the borderless and magnificence of awareness, of beingness, that gets established. It doesn't matter if it gets established in small insights or if it gets established in big insights, in flashy insights, or in small revelations. It doesn't matter. But at some point in your contemplation, what became clear to you in a moment of insight becomes your eternal state, becomes established as what you are without any coming and going. So for now, as on occasion there is an impression of others or another, so continue to contemplate and explore what is the other. Because the other appears to you as a thought, as an impression, a mind impression. Maybe you feel another, which means it may arise to you as a sensation of another. And in a subtle way, with that impression of another, there is also an impression of a person. But it doesn't matter that this is arising or not arising. What matters right now is to simply come to your noticing, come to the noticing of what is arising. Not to get entangled in what is arising, but to rejoice in the noticing. Because the noticing of what arises is not divided. It's not a personal noticing. Awareness is not personal. So when the impression of another arises, simply ask yourself, how separate is this impression of this so-called other from the awareness that knows this impression? You may come to notice that this impression of another is not an actual proof of separation, because this impression is at zero distance of the awareness that perceives this impression. You follow?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
Yes, I do.
So
very clear.
Just continue in your contemplation of the wholeness and undivisibility of awareness.
I will. Thank you.
And do not measure, do not be interested in your progress.
Okay. Yeah.
That's a little bit of a trap, a little bit of a habit, a me habit. May arise, it's okay, as it arises, whatever arises at zero distance of the awareness that perceives it. Yes? Just remain with that noticing.
Okay, I'll do that. Thank you. Thank you.
Everything that we experience, everything that we know, everything that we perceive, everything that we experience is I. There is but I. Formless, borderless, free, peaceful, peace, tender.
Thank you.
There's no need
Quiet.
to separate anything and any separation does not separate anything. It's just a mind impression. Mind impressions come and go. I remain as I.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you for the question, Paula. Hello, Rosa. You're right, I noticed that I am looking for awareness as an object. How do I abide in awareness? What is it that is looking? Ask yourself right now, what is it that perceives? Is that perceives? Is that something? Is that perceives right now in your experience, in your direct experience? Is that male, female? What is it that truly perceives right now? Because we are always talking about right now. We are always just this moment. What is the true perceiver? Is that something? Is that a body? Is that something tall, something short? How old is that truly perceives right now? Ponder these questions over and over, but ponder them with your complete innocence. Ponder these questions without any pre-assumption that I am a woman, or I am this person, or I am this or that. Now, whatever you perceive, where is it? Right now, look right now. Where is the perception that you perceive right now? Let's say that you are looking at the screen, or you're looking at the wall, or you're looking at a painting, or at a chair. Whatever it is that you are perceiving right now, where is this perception? Because in fact, Rosa, you are perceiving your perception. You follow? You are perceiving your perception. Where is your perception? Is your perception separate from you? Is your perception separate from the knowingness of the perception? Is your perception at any distance from the perceiving itself? These questions the mind cannot answer, because when the mind looks for a perception, it can't find it. It can label, oh, chair, tree, bird. But when it looks at perception, it comes to stillness. Because when you examine what is it that truly perceives and what is it that is perceived, you come to the wholeness of being. So, coming to your question, awareness is not something. It's true that we use the term awareness, which is a concept, but the term awareness that we use refers to an experience that is non-phenomenal. It's not referring to something. It's referring to that to which all phenomenal impressions arise, and out of which all phenomenal impressions arise, and out of which all phenomenal impressions are made of. So when you say that I am looking for awareness as an object, as something, ask yourself also, what is it that is looking, that is searching for awareness? There is an assumption being made about an I that is not the real you. The assumption is that I am this woman, I am this person, and I am looking for awareness. You need to let this assumption go. You need to put this assumption down and start with a clean slate. What is it that is looking for awareness? Whatever it is that is looking for awareness must be what is right here, right now, perceiving this perception. What is it that is right here, right now, perceiving this perception? If you say it's a woman, you are going to your memory bank. You have to go to your direct experience and answer from your direct experience right now to yourself. What is it that truly perceives right now? You will come to awareness. You will come to stillness. You will come to not knowingness. You will come to beingness. You will come to peace. There is a tendency, we inherited a tendency to look for objects. We create objects, meaning they're mentations. There are actually no objects. It's a mental realm that is referred to as the material realm. That realm is mind. And within that mind realm, we also create the separate me. When I say we create separate me, meaning it's a game of consciousness, it's a play of consciousness. We create the separate me also as an object, meaning as mentation, as images, as memory. And there is an identification that comes with this mentation of a person. The identification is at the feeling level. We feel that I am this person. I am Rosa, I am Megdi, I am so-and-so. And once that mental realm is on board and is not contemplated, then there is the impression of somebody lacking certain experiences or lacking certain forms and seeking them. And this whole play of seeking phenomenal experiences is meant to restore happiness, to experience happiness, not to restore happiness, to experience happiness. Via the mental realm. So the seeking game is a game of seeking happiness in a temporary form, whether it's an experience, a relationship, wealth, health. So there is a temporary high or a temporary happiness that, of course, comes to a quick end as the phenomenal realm is constantly changing. Anyways, I am going maybe beyond the realm of your question. How do I abide in awareness? First, notice or turn your attention towards what is it that knows, what is it that truly perceives, what is it that is true and real in your experience right now. Turn your attention to the reality of awareness. Although awareness cannot be perceived or experienced in a phenomenal manner, you know you are aware, so there is a knowingness of awareness. that is a direct insight into our reality. So turn your attention to that insight that you have, that I am awareness, I am aware. And continue to come back to that. There may be many situations where certain events appear on the screen of awareness that will pull you into being a woman, living, pursuing, lacking, missing, getting, gaining, losing. That would be like a temporary forgetfulness that I am awareness. But it's okay. Don't worry about it. Just come back whenever you can, whenever it's possible for you. Come back to that whatever is arising to I awareness. I as awareness is the reality of this experience. So first establish that I am awareness by visiting it over and over and over, that what I means is awareness. And once that is established meaning that you easily come to it, it doesn't leave you too often, then contemplate that the awareness that you are is impersonal, is borderless, and is universal. But first, you must contemplate the reality of your experience as awareness. What is it that truly perceives right now? And then you can contemplate the borderless quality of consciousness. You're right, Rosa. Right now, I feel the sensation in my body, the sound around me. I hear your voice. I, as awareness, is hearing you. Yes, yes, yes. And the I that is hearing this voice, ask yourself, where is this voice? Where is this hearing? Or the I that is perceiving this perception, or that is perceiving a certain bodily sensation. Ask yourself, where is this sensation? Where is this perceiving? You will notice that this perceiving is intimately with yourself. It's at zero distance of the awareness. In other words, whatever you are perceiving and the awareness are not two. There is no separate line or separation line between what is perceived and awareness, meaning everything is awareness. I hear your voice. You're right, Rosa. I hear your voice. I, as awareness, is hearing you. The hearing is in the knowing. Yeah, the hearing and the knowing are one, Rosa. When we refer to as hearing, it's not that the hearing is here and a few inches away is the knowing of the hearing. The hearing and the knowing of the hearing, meaning the hearing and the awareness of the hearing, are not 1 foot apart or 6 inches apart or a mile apart. So the knowing and the hearing are intimately one, which means the awareness, meaning that I am this awareness, I as awareness. And whatever I perceive and I sense and I experience, I'm experiencing myself. There is no big bad wolf out there coming at me. All mind events are made out of myself. Consciousness is wholeness. There's no container around consciousness. There is no container around anything. In the phenomenal realm, we could say, okay, the shoes are contained in the shoebox. But that does not apply to awareness. There is nothing that contains awareness. And when I speak about awareness, I'm speaking about I am. I am awareness. So it's a Sat, Chit, Ananda. Sat is the I am. Chit is awareness. I am awareness, which brings you to Ananda, the bliss of I am awareness. That the reality, the I am, and the world, body, mind awareness are one. And that's the bliss of the self. Anyways, I hope I did address your question. Of course, please feel free to continue to explore and share whatever unfolds for you. I'm very happy to be with you in your exploration. Rosa, you're right. All events are made out of myself. Yes. You talking, I hearing, all is made out of self. Yes, yes. It is all the self. It is all the self. Even to say made out of is a way of speaking. All is the self. There is only but one reality, Rosa, which is the reality of presence, awareness, consciousness, beingness, whatever you call it. What we refer to as I am, I, awareness, am, Sat Chit Ananda. Yes, all is the self. There is nothing that is separate. There is no separation. Separation is mentation, is illusion. What you truly are is unborn. Does not start, does not end, does not improve, does not go anywhere, does not come and go. So if there are any questions.
Magdi?
No, Nanda.
Hi. Now I have, it seems like a little bit wacky, but it's been on my mind. In this realm, the realm of perception, the realm of experience, since apparently the birth of this body, there's been some kind of strange things going on. There's been war in the world the whole time. You know, you can always check, and there's war going on. And there's been some strange things, like the body-mind has these issues like defecation and such things, which are a continual concern and, you know, part of life, the whole span. And I think just like someone could want to move, you could move from one state to another, or, you know, change your location in your realm of experience. I find myself looking forward to another realm other than this human one, like a light body experience or something like that. You know, and And I'm thinking, why am I creating this with the limitations involved?
Yes.
I said it was a little wacky, but they're
Well, you don't need to delay.
That's the answer. That's why I ask you these things. Mm.
What's in the way? So, in your contemplation
Mm-hmm.
of the reality of consciousness, the reality of I am,
Mm-hmm.
there is a reversal that starts to happen where the world body mind realm starts to become more and more hazy, more and more transparent,
Mm-hmm.
less and less physical, concrete,
Mm-hmm.
more abstract. And the reality of consciousness, which was in ignorance and abstraction, becomes more and more real in your experience.
Right.
So what you are speaking of starts the process, already started, and is an ongoing process right now.
Mm-hmm.
And as we speak of it right now, we also are recognizing the supremacy of I, the supremacy of consciousness, the supremacy of the reality of the self. It is that route, let's say, it's that revelations, that contemplation, that you are just speaking of in your question. You follow?
You mean that's, in a sense, that's the alternative, is following the source all the way back to where there's no real solidity to the...
Yes, because the mental realm appears very physical and very real when our contemplation is of the self is, let's say, dimmed down, is more in the background. But as our contemplation of the self grows in our heart and in our life, in our being, then the physicality, the impression of physicality of the world, body, mind, which is imitation, dims down, dissolves. So wars and all these, the body impressions, all of these impressions that impact you, they impact you less and less, and then they cease to be. There is a tendency to look at the world from a personal point of view, from to give the world a reality, meaning to give the mind reality. There is a tendency to give the world, body, mind reality, and to forget the actual reality, which is the reality of consciousness. And so we struggle with making a better world, improving the planet, improving society, etc. And that because it seems to be so real. And we are impacted by whatever happens in the world, because what happens in the world impacts me, this person with my ideas about things and about the world. And we overlook that the entire play is consciousness, including the extinction of the dinosaurs, including the anteaters that eat 10 million ants, in one day. Those, including when we walk in the woods, we step on so many insects without intending to. It includes all of that. All of that is consciousness, you see. And now this, I say this, but this does not mean that in our actual waking dream life, if we notice there is something that we can do that brings, friendship and helpfulness, a pet that needs some help, or somebody that needs some assistance, that we would not do that. Of course we would. But there is a freedom. We do that not out of a sense of, oh my God, the planet is going to bits and pieces, and I need to save it, or oh my God, look what's happening to the world. There is no world outside of yourself. I am the world. The world, body, mind is I. So, like, my dreams are I. There are no actual pink flying elephants out there. It's all I. The entire world, body, mind is I.
One consideration I've had about this is that I'm imagining a long time frame, like this whole body, this whole experience from birth to death, dealing with, the news and the body functions, for example. And just so I'm also wondering about that very idea of duration. It's like,
yes.
Awareness is now, and now I'm not troubled by any of that stuff.
Not only that, I mean, I/now awareness, what is the duration of that? What is the duration of this moment? What is the duration of awareness?
I think it's beyond that kind of paradigm of time.
Yes. What is the duration of a thought?
Well, it's hard to say that it even exists in a sense.
Yes.
because you have to install time.
Yes, you have to sort of somehow step out of it and say, okay, hold on, let me see how, let me measure the beginning of and the ending of. But how do you step out of? Where do you go? How do you step out?
Right. So that's why I like talking with you, is because you take this for the real thing, the spaciousness. It's like we don't go to spaciousness to get a break from our world, body, mind experience. And then I so appreciate that you're pointing me always that I am the spaciousness. So
yes. When we say I, we truly are referring to I as awareness. And when we look within ourselves at the duration of awareness, we come to a standstill. Or when we look at the duration of a perception, we come to a standstill, because we're really looking at what is the duration of awareness. Because all is awareness. Wherever you look, you cannot find the duration. So when you're measuring, for example, how long does it take a car to drive from, Paris to Nice, and you start a chronometer, and then you look at the chronometer, you say, okay, or a watch, and it started at noon, it arrived at 6 p.m., and you say the duration of the trip is 6 hours. In fact, the trip is is an image in your mind, and Paris and Nice are images in your mind, and the beginning of the when the car left Paris is just an image in your mind. The entire process is a mind process. And when you look at what is the mind process, what is the duration of any mind process, meaning what is the duration of any perception, any sensations, any thought, you can't measure it. This does not mean that, you know, using time in the world body mind is very functional. It's very important to know what time to catch your train. But I'm talking from the perspective of our experience. We never experience time. We experience sensations, we experience thoughts and bodily sensations, feelings. But in fact, we don't even experience thoughts and bodily sensations and feelings. This is what we refer to, at the mind level, we refer to, we say, oh, I just thought of New York City. But when you look for that thought of New York City, even when you're experiencing, you can't find it. You don't know what you're looking for, or what is looking at what. It's like in your night dream, you're looking at the pink flying elephant. Where is it? Where is it? It seems so real, but you're always looking at yourself. You're never leaving yourself. You're never looking at anything. You're always experiencing yourself. You're experiencing your experience. You're perceiving your perception. You're sensing your sensation. And everything that you experience, it's at zero distance of yourself. Like this very moment, whatever you're perceiving, ask yourself, where is it? You come to the I. It's all I can say is, I don't know. I am. Yes, we say I am. Awareness, presence, beingness. Yes. And I am peace, joy, beauty, happiness, freedom. We say yes, yes. That's when you come to the true self. But when you come to, oh, what am I? Oh, I am Magdi, and I'm a spiritual teacher, and I am builder, and I'm a father, and I'm this, and I'm born, my mother, my father. Then
sounds like a big load.
it's a play. It's a play. But when there is the identification with, oh yes, that's what I am, then it's an unhappy play. It's an unhappy play. Actually, in my dream life, I don't experience, what did you say, a load. I don't experience a load because there isn't an identification.
Yeah.
The load comes with the identification. But yes, work, cook, wash the dishes, drive to the shopping, etc.
Yeah.
But it's the primacy is the primacy of consciousness, which stares us in the face 24/7.
Right. Wow. Beautiful answer. I remember when you were flying, when you were stuck in the airport for a day or two, you know, stuck in the airport, and I think I had an opportunity to speak with you a little bit, and you just said, "It's just a satsang. We're just here. It's a long, you know, by clock time, it's a long satsang. Those of us waiting for the next flight." It was so beautiful.
Yeah.
But wow, thank you. That's
okay,
Ananda.
Great. Okay, nice talking to you. Okay, yes. So if there are any questions. Oh, Rosa, I'm sorry, I overlooked your question. Is it possible to do some yoga meditation? There are yogas, and the yogas are not meant to bring flexibility to the body or to the mind. Okay. Oh, hello, Maria. Okay. Yes, I was going to talk about that. About nice to see you, Maria. Warm memories of our being together. Very lovely. Yeah. So let me look at your question. Hmm. I think that these yogas, we have to do them together in the retreats. I don't think that they lend themselves well on over this medium, the webcast. So next retreat, we do on occasion here when we meet on Saturday. On occasion we meet for 2 hours, and so it's a very tight time to do satsang and the yoga, but on occasion we do. So since you have already been to retreat and you've experienced that, Maria, you could turn your attention as we are sitting here, as you're wherever you are, just maybe your overall bodily experience of the bodily sensation. You turn your attention to the sensations, any sensation. You can go to the general sensation of the body, or you can turn your attention to any particular part of the body. Let's say maybe you could start with your chest or your face, and allow the sensation, give the sensation its total freedom, this total spaciousness of awareness. And as any thought arises, whatever arises, release it to the space of awareness, the space of presence. It's already there. Allow it to expand, and as it's expanding, it's also expanding, not just forward, but it's also expanding backwards. And whatever impressions arise, observe them in your complete neutrality and the spaciousness of presence, and allow them to just be and expand and give them their complete freedom. In the spaciousness of your presence. You relax, always relax your belly, your neck, your shoulders. You can notice the peace and notice that everything that's arising is arising in you, in the spaciousness of being. And you can work with that to start with, yes. The true body is infinite space, infinite beingness. And so you invite whatever arises in the body-mind, to recognize its infinite spaciousness. There are no borders. So you can also, as you move the body in very slow, subtle way, maybe you're moving your hand, you notice that the sensation of movement is arising in the space of your presence. And that in fact there is no movement. Anyways, it's just these are yogas usually best to do them in presence with each other. It's very, very lovely to see you, Maria. Very happy to see you. So if there is any question,
I don't know if we've talked about this before, but I have the feeling that this contemplation, this meditation that you just guided, that I could feel, if I can kind of remember, I could take it on a walk and take it driving to work, etc.? Or is it more of a focused with a
No,
still body?
no. It's not limited to being still.
Mm-hmm.
In the contemplation of the self, there is an understanding that what I truly am, that I am consciousness. There is an understanding that comes with a glimpse or numerous glimpses that I am consciousness.
Mm-hmm.
But there is also, besides the understanding, there is a physiological realm to ignorance. It's sort of at the body level we feel as a me. So as the contemplation is ripening, let's say, or deepening, these bodily impressions of me are triggered in your experiential world, in your waking dream, and there is this tendency to feel as a me and will act as a me and perceive others, perceive a me and others, and so there is a process of contemplating that part of the ignorance, not just the understanding, but the feeling level. And as you are contemplating the feeling level, there is a releasing, a recognizing that, for example, feelings are actually bodily sensations, neutral bodily sensations that are triggered, that are somehow triggered, but they're triggered, and if they are perceived as they're being triggered to be released, they're not being triggered as a problem that I need to come and solve. So they're triggered to be released. As they're releasing, they're arising in awareness, and they're dissolving in awareness. They're dissolving in the vastness of being. They're arising from the vastness of being and dissolving in the vastness of being as sensations, neutral sensations. Then they're not personalized, and therefore there isn't a follow-up process of a person having a problem and a person needing to solve a personal problem. That is not what is occurring. And in time, as this is the approach that is taken with whatever is arising at the feeling level, in time there is a reduction. These occasions of feeling as a me arise less and less frequently and with less and less intensity, and are of less and less shorter and shorter duration. So that's a process where there is a thinning out of ignorance, out of the body-mind. And as that process is occurring, then you find yourself in your active life, whether you're driving, going for a walk, being at work, or talking with an associate at work, or with a client at work. And you find yourself as this feeling open space, and whatever arises is arising in the vastness of your body. So your body sort of expands from being a personal body to being a universal body. And at some point, really, there are no yogas that are necessary, because you are the yoga. But until you are the yoga, it is, and even then, it is
like maintenance, change the oil. No.
It is say it's available. It's available to contemplate all bodily sensations, all perceptions, all thoughts as arising in the space, in the vastness of being. And that in fact, what seemed to be movement outside of you is movement within you. And what seemed movement is actually no movement. Anyways, I'm talking that at the experiential level. I don't think it's something that we have to sort of live it. We have to live it.
No, that was very real as you were talking. I could follow and feel. And I could see myself walking by, seeing a newspaper on a patio table. You know, Europe sinks or something, and saying all these kind of things I talked about earlier, and just like see it because it brings up a sensation, and the sensation can be kept open, and then it seems like it works simultaneously on the mind level and the body level. The cessation of the cessation of ignorance, just to use a simple word.
So it's noticing that around whatever arises there is infinite space, and that whatever is arising is arising in the space and can expand in this infinite space and dissolve in this infinite space. It's not for any personal reason. It's just that's how it is. Noticing that in fact is what happens, and so we're open to that.
That's distinction is good. Thank you. It's not a bulletproof vest. It's it's expansion to the point where nothing can harm.
Harm whom? Who? Harm who?
That concept of harm. Wow, what a great it's a great contemplation.
The concept of harm comes hand in hand with the concept of a me, a me that can potentially be harmed. And so we say, oh, a lion attacks me and tears my arm, so I have been harmed. So that is the identification with the body.
Yes.
So when I say who, say, oh, I, the body, is being harmed by a lion, a hungry lion. See, but am I the body? Am I the body? The body appears to me as sensation. Hunger, tiredness, whatever, it appears as sensation. The body appears to me as perception, as thought. So it appears to me, right? What is this? It appears to I. I perceive the sensation. I perceive the body. If I perceive the body, how can I be the body? The body perceiving itself? The body is an object, is a form. Form does not perceive. The binocular does not perceive the bird. The telescope does not perceive the galaxy. The telescope does not perceive. Body-mind does not perceive. I perceive the body, or I perceive the tree through the body, through the eyes, for example. I perceive an oak tree. So the body-mind is an instrument, and the tree is what is perceived, but the I is not the body. So I is consciousness, and then the body, I perceive the body, but I actually perceive my perception. So I'm perceiving the body, I'm perceiving my perception that I refer to as the body. I'm perceiving my perception. And the mind says, oh, that is a hand. And then the mind says, that is my hand. Which is okay. It's no big deal. It's important for me to distinguish between my hand and your hand, so I don't, when I'm going to put on my gloves, I don't put the gloves on your hand. You see?
You know, I have some kind of a sense of this because when I work with my dying people, it's okay. It's okay that they're dying. You know, I mean, they are dying, and it makes a big difference to them that I know that I show up and it's okay.
Sure, all bodies die.
Feels a relief.
All bodies die.
Yes,
bodies die. It's no big deal.
And what you're talking about is really the essence of spiritual eternity.
Yes.
And
sure, bodies die. We're okay with we're all okay with that. I mean, you know, it's just when we identify with the body, then we're not okay with the body dying. Say, because I don't want to die, because we imagine that consciousness dies. But what do you know about consciousness dying outside of your identification with the body?
Yeah. And so I'm just thinking, similarly, anything that happens, anything that comes up is in that same category as well. It's coming up within this.
Yes. But also one could say that nothing is happening. Consciousness is not a happening. Consciousness is joy, freedom, beauty, love, peace. So we could say that maybe what is happening is just happiness, joy, peace, celebration of consciousness. It takes on this form right here, right now. And it's very beautiful. We love it.
Right. Body functions and all.
Right now there are body functions. I mean, we're swallowing. The eyes are blinking. There is breathing. There's drinking. So, but there is the whole symbiosis of the skin with the moisture around us. The whole exchange of body heat and moisture, and all of that is happening. So it's bodily function and universal function, the functioning of the weather, the functioning of the birds, the functioning of the wind, of the sun. It's all one functioning. It's all one functioning. It's one functioning, like in your dream, you know, everything that you're dreaming is just this one functioning. And all this functioning refers to what? Refers to that is beyond this functioning, which is this aware presence. So the functioning refers to the non-functioning, to the beyond. So the non-functioning functions out of its freedom, and non-functions out of its freedom. Functions are out of its freedom, and non-functions out of its beingness.
Simultaneously and fully.
It's complete freedom from time. There are no time element, no time dimension to that. So simultaneity is like possibility of two events occurring at the same time. So it's not really simultaneous. It's maybe instantaneous.
I think I see your point. It takes the body-mind perspective to say simultaneous.
I'm just giving you a hard time, Ananda.
You've taken away so much of the difficulty in this year talking with you. so much of the difficulty of being is just gone. So
Right, that's beautiful.
thank you so much.
Thank
Hmm.
you. Hmm. Well, it's very beautiful to be with you all, and so I bow to you all, and we'll see you again soon. Much love.